Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video, we're checking out the CrowPi L, a Raspberry Pi laptop. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, Crow sent me the CrowPi L for a fair and honest review, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. Looking inside the box, and we've got a bunch of other boxes. Opening up the box on the right side of the package, and the first thing I see here is a wireless mouse. This mouse is wireless, it does contain a battery, and the dongle for the mouse is located where the battery is. We've also got a fan that connects to the GPIO pins and a dual microSD card slot, and included in the advanced kit but not the basic kit is this CrowPi base shield. This will allow all the modules to plug in. We've also got a USB-C power adapter that's rated at 12 volts, 2 amps. There's a fairly detailed instruction manual. Now, as part of the advanced kit, you also get the secondary package, the CrowTail starter kit. All of these modules will plug into that base shield, and there are 22 modules in total. There's actually quite a bit of stuff in here. No joke, we've got a bunch of different sensors, an LED screen, and some LED lights. For example, this piece here is a temperature and humidity sensor, and I probably shouldn't be bending it. There's also a reflective sensor, a touch sensor, a hall sensor, a light sensor, a PIR motion sensor, a moisture sensor, an ultrasonic ranging sensor, a rotary angle sensor, and a whole bunch more. Truth be told, this is a pretty robust little kit if you're into DIY stuff and tinkering around with the Pi. And last but definitely not least, here's a better look at the CrowPi, and this thing is pretty darn awesome. On the back here, we've got some venting and some speakers. On the left side, we have our standard Raspberry Pi ports. We've got 3 USBs instead of 4, and a network jack. On the right side, we've got our USB-C for power, we have HDMI out, a headphone jack, and our GPIO pins. On the bottom of this, we've got a spot for the battery and also a spot for attaching the Pi. To attach the Pi to this, you don't need screws or anything. The cover is magnetic. Flipping open the lid of the CrowPi, and here's a better look at the keyboard. Note that the mouse is on the top and not on the bottom. The mouse on this one is fairly tiny. There's no number pad, and this is a very compact keyboard. However, the buttons don't feel horrible, and they do sit fairly flush. And for those people who like a nice peel, here is the peel off the screen. They state that the screen on this is 11.6 inches, and taking out a tape measure here, and well, that seems to measure up. And to my liking here, the screen has a matte finish on it. It's not glossy, and you don't really have to worry about reflections. Typing on the keyboard, and it is a little bit crammed but completely usable, and it's understandable that it's a little bit small due to the overall size. I think this is a well laid out keyboard. The next step here is to obviously install the Raspberry Pi, and this does come with a microSD card. It's an off-branded Class 10 32 gigabytes, and it's already pre-programmed. It's also worth pointing out they give you a microSD card slot adapter that contains 2 microSD card ports. The OS goes on one side and maybe extra storage on the other. Or if you wanted to dual boot on different SD cards, you can, because there's a switch there so you can switch between the two. Now, installing the Pi in the laptop was simple and straightforward, but I do recommend using caution. It's very easy to snap off the adapter board. It plugs into the USB-C port as well as the HDMI ports, and then there's a little adapter here that plugs into the USB port. Overall, it was very quick, but at the same time, if you fumble this, you could easily snap something. And the Pi itself just kind of slides into place. Interestingly enough, there's no screws here or anything. It just kind of sits in place and that's it. Another reason to be careful when installing things here is because of the microSD card slot adapter. I noticed that if I pushed down on the Raspberry Pi just a little bit, I risked damaging some components. It's fitting in there very snugly, but not necessarily the best supported. Overall, this is probably one of my least favorite features of the entire setup so far. The last thing to do here was to install the fan, and that was simple and straightforward. It just plugged onto the GPIO pins. And after that, I'm pretty much done. The Raspberry Pi is installed and the laptop is ready to go. And just for fun, I decided to take off the battery cover to see what was under it. This battery cover is held on with security screws and it doesn't come off easily. It's very easy to snap this plastic piece on the top. And for those wondering, here is the battery. It's a 5000 milliamp hour battery, and if you wanted to replace it, well, I guess you could. And here's the first boot of the CrowPi L. I haven't done anything to the microSD card yet. I'm using the included stock microSD card that's been pre-programmed. I like this splash screen. So here's a quick peek at the stock OS for the laptop, and we can see it's completely geared towards learning. Now you can put your own OS on there. That's not really a big deal at all. The Raspberry Pi supports a whole bunch of different ones, but that's not the point of this video. It's to check out what's included. And I'm noticing right away that I really don't like this mouse. It is very frustrating to use. I can completely see why they included a mouse with this package. It works a lot better than the touchpad. Now the screen on this laptop is not a touch screen, but it's a 1366 by 768 IPS and it's 11.6 inches. The battery on this one is 5,000 milliamp hours, good for about 3 hours on a full charge. There's also an included webcam, which was pretty darn cool. So let's get into what I liked, what I didn't like, and whether or not I'd recommend the CrowPi L. And we'll start out here with what I liked. First and foremost, and this is a big one, the CrowPi L feels like an actual laptop. I've used some other pseudo Raspberry Pi laptop solutions, and to me this one completely takes the cake. It feels like the real deal. On top of that, installation for the Raspberry Pi was super easy. I think most people should be able to do this, but if you have a kid doing this, maybe do it with supervision because it's very easy to break stuff when you're installing the Raspberry Pi. I also like the fact that everything is set up and ready to go. You don't really have to configure anything if you don't want to. If you wanted to install your OS on this, you absolutely can. And the fact that it is a Raspberry Pi, well, that opens up a whole bunch of possibilities. On top of that, the battery on this one was pretty good. 5,000 milliamp hours might not seem like a whole lot. 3 hours running this might not seem like a whole lot, but on standby, I got about up to 8 hours overall. So I will say yes, if you're beating the heck out of the processor, you're not going to get a whole lot of battery life. But if you're fairly light with your usage and then put this thing to sleep, well, the battery might last you longer than you think. The speakers on this were decent. The included keyboard on this, while not going to win any awards for anything, is decent. But I will say the keyboard on this one is very low profile and the keys are a little bit mushy. If you're doing a lot of typing, and I mean a lot of typing, well, you might want a different solution or just plug in a separate keyboard altogether. The back speakers on this one, I'll say, are not the best. They're not horrible, they're usable, they're not great either. They're just kind of, I don't want to say substandard, but they work and you can use them. The webcam on this, kind of the same thing. It's not that great. It is kind of usable, but at the same time, most laptop webcams are not very good at all. The side ports here, I like the fact that there's a full-size HDMI, easy access to GPIO, you can still use your headphone jack, and on the other side you still got most access to the Raspberry Pi. You are missing one USB port, and that's to connect the entire laptop to it. And the last thing I want to address is the build quality. This doesn't feel cheap. Sometimes Raspberry Pi stuff does feel substandard, and that's not the case here. The case on this one actually feels pretty good. I would say it is above average for Raspberry Pi stuff. And surprisingly here, the screen does not have a lot of wobble. I thought it'd be a lot more wobbly and a lot less supported. But the hinges on this are actually pretty darn good. Now moving into things I don't like about the CrowPi L, and there are a few of them. First and foremost, I don't like the touchpad that's built in. I think it's crammed in, it's awful. It does work, but it doesn't work that great. I'm glad they included a mouse. I think that was a smart move. I also didn't like the installation process, how easy it was to break something. You have to be careful, and I'm almost certain here that someone is going to break something while they're trying to install this. It is a very snug fit and there's a lot of room for error. And the last thing I didn't like about this is the fact that this is not a touchscreen. I was kind of hoping for a bit of a touchscreen here. I know that might raise the price a little bit. But at the same time, I think it would be a little bit more fun. So before I get into my overall recommendation, let's take a look at the price. Right now on CrowPi's official website, the CrowPi L is priced at $279, and that's for the basic kit. The advanced kit with all of the great sensors and a whole bunch of stuff to do is $349, and that does not include a Raspberry Pi. So if you've already got a Pi 4 laying around, great, you don't have to buy one, but if you have to buy one here, it raises the price significantly. $410 for the CrowPi L. For a Raspberry Pi 4 gig, for an 8 gig it's $448. And if you wanted the advanced kit, Well, it's $518 for the 8 gig one and $480 for the 4 gig one. So let's go on ahead and take the price of the Pi out of this, considering you can try to pick one up elsewhere and you might already have one laying around. Let's just take a look at the price of the kit. So for $279, would I recommend the base kit for the CrowPi L? And the answer here is yes. And for the advanced kit at $349, would I recommend the CrowPi L? And the answer here is yes. Honestly, this thing is really geared towards education. If you've got a child around and maybe wanted to learn with them or show them a few things or have them try some things out on their own, this is a pretty good investment. There's a lot to do here. That starter kit contains a lot of really cool stuff. However, if you're not into that stuff, I still think the CrowPi L base kit is a great choice. I kind of wish I had one of these sooner, considering all of the stuff I do with the Pi. I find it a hassle to hook up a monitor, find a keyboard, find a mouse, and boot up the Pi and start going with that. Everything is located in one spot here. It makes things a lot easier. At the end of the day here, I was skeptical about testing out the CrowPi L. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. And this is actually my preferred way now to use my Raspberry Pi. This is a very nice setup and I can tuck it away when I'm not using it. It's very quick and easy to set up and very convenient, so a big win here for the CrowPi L. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. Shoutouts to Elecrow for providing the CrowPi L for a fair and honest review. Let me know your thoughts about the CrowPi L in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.